My dear, my chosen one, the one whose name has been whispered in heaven tonight, more than the sound of angels' wings. Why does your heart feel as if it's shaking inside your chest? Deep down you already know this is not just another ordinary moment. Something urgent, something final is stretching out its hand toward you before it disappears into the dark forever. I, Archangel Michael, have stood for nights at the very edge of your destiny, watching things no human eyes could ever see. And I can't stay silent any longer. I speak with the weight of heaven behind my words. This is not another gentle reminder, this is a final warning. Today, the 1st of October, a clock in the unseen world sounded a note that will never strike again. A divine countdown has started, and your name is written inside that clock face. You must not take even a single breath without listening now. God says, "Tell them if they close their ears to this, my hand will close over their blessings and my protection will be withdrawn." Pause for a heartbeat and let that sink in. This isn't a casual message, this is the last gate you cross before either something long-awaited is born or something precious fades away. I know your mind whispers, "Why me, why now?" but your spirit already knows. It has felt the shadow circling you step by step, pretending to be harmless. You've noticed it in the sudden heaviness in your rooms, in the odd chill that brushed your skin, in the way normal days began to bend out of shape. No, it's not random. The enemy wanted tonight to be the night it all collapsed, but heaven interrupted. That's why I'm standing here now. Before I tell you what I saw, I beg you, my beloved, promise me you will hold these words in your heart until the last sentence. Don't scroll away, don't get distracted, heaven doesn't repeat itself twice. What I am about to say carries the safety of your future, and even the breath in your lungs. I've been fighting for you in the unseen realm for days. Tonight the battle grew so fierce that I had to step out of the fray to speak to you face to face. My sword has been hot in my hand, I've stood guard over you as you slept, as you walked, even when you thought you were all alone. But you were never alone. Here is what you must understand, the enemy forged a chain with your name carved into its links. It was meant to snap shut on you tonight. If it had, you would have felt doors closing, opportunities drying up, relationships collapsing, even your health slipping. This isn't an ordinary chain, it is a spiritual sentence. That is why God allowed me to break protocol and come to you so urgently. You can break that chain, not by fear, but by stepping boldly into what I'm about to tell you. First, pause. If these words have reached you, heaven moved mountains to set them before your eyes. That means God still wants you safe, still wants you blessed. If you feel even the smallest stirring in your chest right now, that is your spirit whispering, don't miss this moment. Stay connected to heaven's voice beyond this message, because today it's your own life at stake, Tomorrow it could be the life of someone you love. Never allow that line of connection to be cut. Now let me tell you what I saw. I stood at the edge of the light and watched a shadow slide toward you. It didn't just carry darkness, it carried the smell of endings. The ending of laughter, of joy, of mornings you thought were safe. It tried to mark you so that trouble would recognize you on sight. It almost succeeded until I heard a certain tremor in your breath, your spirit's silent call for help. That call reached me faster than lightning. When I came closer, I saw the shadow was not a stranger at all. It wore a familiar mask. It looked like a thought you've been entertaining, a person you've been trusting, even a door you've been knocking on, unaware that behind it waits a pit. Your story is not supposed to end in that pit. The pen that writes your future does not belong to the enemy. Right now angels surround your home, holding back something that was about to cross your threshold. If you turn away from this warning, those angels will step aside and the thing they block will stride in unhindered. I speak this strongly because I love you, not with a love that shifts with moods or seasons, but the steady love of the one who shaped your soul and cannot stand to watch you walk into a trap without shouting a warning so loud it rattles your bones. Your life can collapse if you keep walking blindly, but it can also bloom again brighter and stronger than ever if you open yourself to the path God is offering right now. I know this is heavy, I know part of you wants to say, this can't be for me. But you felt the strange restlessness at night. You've caught yourself wondering, am I running out of time? You've had that uncanny sense of unseen eyes watching. Those aren't random feelings. They are your spirit's alarm bells, telling you the unseen world is close enough to touch your life, and the next touch could change everything. Tonight you stand at a final choice. Do not waste it. The sky above you is not silent, heaven has already leaned in. And the angels who have fought for you will keep their swords drawn as long as you step forward in faith. So breathe, stand firm, choose light over the shadow, choose life over the pit. And know that the moment you do, the countdown that began tonight will mark not the end of your story, but the dawn of a new chapter filled with hope, laughter, and peace. May this word settle in your heart like a lamp that never goes out, guiding your steps in the nights ahead. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $100. To ignore this as just words, or to treat this as the direct intervention of heaven that it truly is, that's the decision standing right in front of you. I, Archangel Michael, have spoken what I was sent to declare, and I'm still here, sword raised, waiting for the choice you will make. Beloved, the moment you decided not to scroll away, something invisible shifted. I felt it, all of heaven felt it. A gate that had been almost closed creaked open just enough for a thread of light to break through. That's why I haven't stepped back yet. Because there's a truth the enemy desperately hoped you would never discover. Your name is not just a sound, it's written on a guarded page in heaven's archives. For years that page has been sealed under watchful eyes. But today the enemy reached for it, stretching a hand to twist your story. If he touches it, not only your future will change, but even the meaning of your past would seem rewritten. I have seen both possibilities. I stood where time is not measured by clocks, and I watched two paths unfold. One path was cold and gray. You woke to sunlight that felt empty, as if warmth itself had been stolen. Opportunities drifted by like leaves on a river you couldn't reach. People you trusted pulled away without reason. Your prayers went up but came back in hollow silence, not because God stopped loving you, but because you turned away from the one moment that could have shifted everything. The other path made my eyes burn with hope. It was as though heaven leaned down and kissed your brow. Doors that once seemed sealed began to swing open. I heard a sound like distant bells, angels rejoicing because you chose life, light and trust. Your laughter was like water after a long drought, carrying freedom in every note. Your days weren't perfect, yet they were blessed beyond measure. And most of all, the shadow that hunts you now could no longer reach you. That is why I keep speaking. Because tonight both paths lie open before you, and tonight is the only night you'll ever see them both at once. I know you wonder, Michael, can my choice to keep listening really change so much? Yes. Because heaven does not break into the human timeline for trivial reasons. We come only when the balance of a soul's story is hanging by a single fraying thread. I have seen the one who longs to cut that thread. It's not merely a person or a streak of bad fortune. It's a spirit that has stalked your family line for generations, patient and quiet, waiting for a weak moment. It has taken others before you, in different ways, at different times. And on this day, October 1st, it came closer to you than ever before. It almost touched you. Had heaven not stepped in, you would already be feeling the weight of its grip. God is not playing with your time. He is not giving you another year, another month, another endless tomorrow to ponder. That is why he sent me, not as a gentle whisper, but as a thunderous call. You are running out of later. Hear me plainly. If you treat these words as just another message and walk away, you will step out from under the shield protecting you right now. The shadow will not delay. But if you remain, if you let each word sink in like light warming frozen ground, if you receive it as the rescue it truly is, you will see the chain meant for you break apart like glass. I have guarded kings in their battles, prophets in their caves, children in their darkest nights. But tonight my single assignment is you. I will not leave until you understand that this is the turning point of your whole existence. My beloved, the hourglass is running low, but not yet empty. I see you still standing here, still reading, and that alone tells me something powerful. You are not someone who runs when heaven calls. You may tremble, you may doubt, but you don't flee. And because of that, this moment is alive with unshaped miracles. The closer I draw to you in this message, the clearer the truth becomes. The enemy is not frightened by your past mistakes or even by your successes. What he fears is what you are about to become. He knows that if you step fully into the life God wrote for you, you will unravel decades of his schemes against your family line. That is why he strikes now, why on this very day he moved to crush what you carry before it blooms. I see your destiny spread like woven threads on heaven's great table. Some threads gleam like gold, brightened by every whispered prayer you've ever dared to pray. Others lie dulled by pain, betrayal, and grief. But one thread glows with living light, running unbroken from the heart of God straight to the center of your life. That is the lifeline the enemy seeks to grab. If he touches it even once, a chain of events will begin that could rob you of blessings you haven't even glimpsed yet. Picture this with me. You're standing on a narrow bridge, suspended over a river of restless shadows. The wind roars. Each step forward feels heavier than the last. Ahead of you, through an open gate, heaven's light pours down like sunrise after endless night. Behind you a storm tugs at your clothes, your thoughts, your spirit, urging you to turn back. Right now you stand in the middle of that trembling bridge. Go back and you will not find safety, only the waiting shadow with open arms. Step forward and the first flash of light may blind you, but then your eyes will adjust and you will see truth as it really is. Beloved, the bridge shivers underfoot. The enemy is hoping fear will paralyze you. But fear is not your master. Fear is not the name heaven knows you by. The true name spoken over you carries strength that breaks every chain. That is why I must tell you the battle for your choice is almost over, and the choice is still yours to make. Do not underestimate the power of this night. A single decision here can echo through generations yet unborn. Step forward, let the light meet you halfway. Trust the one who has never let go of your true name. God has not abandoned you. He is not warning you because he is leaving. He is warning you because he is fighting for you. But listen carefully, heaven will never drag you across the bridge, you have to take the steps yourself. Do you remember that moment when you thought everything was over, when the night felt endless, and yet somehow dawn came anyway? That was not luck. That was the one who sent me reaching across time to keep you alive for this very night, for this decision. I see the exhaustion in your heart. You're tired of the battles that seem to pop up like weeds the moment you clear the path. Tired of watching people you trusted turn into strangers before your eyes. Tired of praying and waiting, wondering if heaven has gone silent. But hear me, sometimes the answer from above isn't a soft whisper of yes. Sometimes it's a thunderclap shouting, "Get up now." And this is one of those times. I'm not here to frighten you, beloved, I'm here to help you see clearly, to see the shadow for what it really is, to recognize the unseen hand that's been carrying you even when you thought you were falling, to grasp the truth that your life, your very breath still matters so much that the armies of heaven are fighting for it this very moment. There is something urgent I must tell you. Someone near you, perhaps even someone you've leaned on, has unknowingly become an open door for the shadow to creep closer. It's not always the loudest enemy, sometimes it's the quiet one, the one who says they mean well. They might not even know the part they are playing. But in the spiritual realm, their connection to you has become a pathway, and that pathway must be closed. When this is revealed, don't be afraid. Don't cling to what God is asking you to release. Because the moment you let go, you will feel the atmosphere shift, the heaviness will lift like fog in the morning sun, the dreams you thought were gone will stir again, the light will push through the cracks you thought were sealed forever. I'm still standing here, sword in hand, because you have not yet made the choice in your heart. Until you do, the shadow lingers just outside the circle of light. But the instant you decide, yes, even the very breath in which you whisper, I will step forward, my sword will strike. The chain that has hunted you will shatter into dust. I will not leave until the danger has passed. I will not leave until heaven is sure you have crossed the bridge to safety. Beloved, the fact that you are still here, still reading, means more than you realize. Every moment you stay within this flow of words, heaven works deeper in you. I can already see the balance shifting. The darkness that leaned toward you is hesitating now, as though unsure it can win. Do you understand what that means? Your simple obedience, your choice to stay, to listen, is already wounding the enemy. He doesn't fear your wealth, your beauty, or your influence. He fears your decision to align yourself with the voice of God. That's why distractions will claw at you, trying to pull you away before you reach the end. You'll hear whispers, this isn't real, stop reading, you're fine. But I tell you in the name of the Almighty, those whispers aren't your thoughts. They are the desperate claws of a spirit that wants you gone before you can step into your promise. The enemy knows the hourglass is almost empty. He knows that once the final grain of sand falls, the gate will close and whichever side you stand on in that moment will be sealed for a long season. I must speak plainly. The danger is not far away. It isn't years off. It's already taken steps toward you. If you could see how near it is, your spirit would cry out loud enough to shake the earth. But there is hope, there is always hope as long as heaven still sends a messenger. And right now something powerful is working in your favor, the shadow doesn't yet realize you are being warned. That is why you still have time to act. I've seen what happens when you step into obedience. It's not just your life that changes, there's a ripple that spreads outward, touching lives you've never even met. A chain of light begins to form, linking your choices to blessings in distant places. Miracles will start unfolding so fast you'll barely have time to speak one before the next one arrives. I've also seen the future of your work, the plans for your hands. It's not just for your own table but to feed many. I saw gold along your path, hidden beneath the debris of disappointment. Your decision to stay in God's flow will clear the path and uncover it. But if you ignore this call, that gold will be buried deeper than ever. Even now I am holding back an unseen hand that has been reaching for your heart. It has tried before, sometimes as a sudden sickness, sometimes through heartbreak, sometimes through a suffocating hopelessness that made you wonder if your life even mattered. My child, your life does matter. It matters more than you've been told. If your light goes out, there are souls who will wander in darkness far longer than they were ever meant to. That is why heaven is fighting so fiercely for you. I must tell you something heavier still. If you turn away tonight, the help you hope for in the coming weeks will not arrive as you expect. Not because God is cruel, but because you will have stepped out from under the covering He has placed over you. I know your heart is beating faster, I know part of you wonders if you can bear to hear more. But you can. Because I'm not here only to tell you the danger, I'm here to tell you the rescue. When you reach the end of this message and respond with the choice heaven is asking of you, I will strike in the unseen realm. I will cut away the path the shadow has been using to reach you. And when I do, you will notice the change almost at once. The heaviness will lift. The strange resistance you felt for so long will begin to ease. And those old dreams, the ones you thought had withered, will start to breathe again. But for that to happen, you cannot stop here. Every word that follows carries more light. And it is light that burns away the darkness sent against you. So my beloved, stay with me. Take a deep breath. Set your face toward the light. The bridge may still shake beneath your feet, but heaven's hand is stretched out toward you. The moment you step forward, the night that has been hunting you will lose its grip, and the morning you've prayed for will finally begin. Do not let your heart hesitate now, my beloved. The bridge beneath your feet is trembling, but not because it is breaking, it trembles because the power of heaven is rushing through it, clearing the way. The gates of light ahead are opening wider, and I can already feel their warmth reaching toward you. This is not just another moment of encouragement, this is the moment that shifts the story. I can sense your spirit leaning closer, no longer scanning these words with cautious curiosity but drinking them in as if they are water after a long thirst. That change from reading with the mind to receiving with the heart is what the enemy dreaded most. The moment a heart begins to listen, the chains that once felt unbreakable start to crack, and the sound of that cracking shakes the halls of darkness. For many nights now unseen forces have written assignments against you. Not because you were weak or unworthy, but because the light inside you is too valuable to be left unchallenged. The enemy never wastes his strength on empty vessels, he moves against those who carry heaven's oil. And child, whether you believe it or not, you have been carrying more than you realized. I saw the traps being set in the places you thought were safest, not in your obvious weaknesses, but in the quiet corners of trust, in plans you thought were harmless. That is why God allowed this interruption. Why I stand between you and the snare that was just steps ahead. One careless move now could ripple into every part of your life, your family, your calling, your peace. The urgency you feel pressing on your chest is not panic, it is your spirit recognizing that rescue has arrived. I have seen what waits for you on the other side of surrender, the moment you whispered, "Yes, God, I will not ignore your voice." The heavens responded. Angels gathered like a shield, not just a few, but a legion, their swords blazing like fire. The shadow that hunted you stopped in its tracks as if struck by a force it could not comprehend. But hear me clearly. Before the dawn breaks, the night will make one last desperate reach. It will disguise itself as something familiar, something harmless, something that whispers, "You're fine, you don't need to go further." That is the oldest lie of the enemy, to convince you that danger has passed when the final battle is at hand. My words tonight are not gentle because they are meant to be a blade cutting through that illusion. You were never meant to end in defeat. You were never created to be lost before your time. The promises God has spoken over you were not meant to be buried. That is why I left the front lines to stand here now. Because you are worth the fight, worth the years of heaven's war for your soul. And here is a truth the enemy hopes you never learn. Each act of obedience to God's voice in this hour breaks something ancient that once claimed your bloodline. Every time you choose light over fear, another root that tried to choke your life is torn free. Even now I can sense those roots quivering, they know their end draws near. Your simple yes to God has the power to bring down what generations before you endured. That is why I plead with you, not only as a warrior, but as one who cares more for you than words can tell. Do not let this chance slip away. The bridge is almost crossed. The light ahead is so bright it nearly blinds me. I can already see your name being written higher among those who overcame. The air around us is charged, almost humming. The angels encircling you raise their swords higher, their faces set like stone against the shadow that has stalked you since your first breath. We are no longer standing halfway. Your next step places you on ground that the enemy has fought for decades to keep you from reaching. When that step is taken, the chains will not simply loosen, they will shatter. The sound will echo beyond your life into the lives of those who come after you. I speak now not to your fears or your doubts, but to the eternal part of you that remembers God's voice from before you were ever born. That is who must respond tonight. I can hear the enemy's rage as I speak. He sends distractions even now, a sudden thought, a random noise, a temptation to stop reading. Do not heed them. They are sparks from a fire that is about to be drowned. My child, I will not promise that the days ahead will be effortless. But I do promise they will be possible. Every obstacle will bow to the one who calls you forward. The walls that hemmed you in will crumble. Doors long shut will swing open. The weight you carried like a heavy cloak will fall away as if it was never meant for your shoulders. God is not merely rescuing you tonight. He is repositioning you. The ground you walk on will shift from loss to provision. Where you once searched for light, you will become a beacon of it. The way the shadow once pursued you, blessings will now pursue you and they will find you. Even as I speak, I feel the command of heaven rising within me. The moment to strike is close. When it comes, you will not see a sword cut the air, but you will feel the atmosphere change. The silence will no longer be heavy, it will feel alive, expectant. The very spaces you enter will seem to brighten as if welcoming you. But hear this carefully. God asks one thing of you as the strike falls: hold your ground and trust. Do not look back toward the bridge you've crossed. Do not reach again for what He has asked you to release. The moment you stand firm, the final blow will land and what has stalked you will fall, never to rise again. A stranger's words may suddenly echo something you prayed about in secret. A door that had been shut for years will quietly swing open as if it had been waiting for your touch. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. They are heaven's way of whispering, keep walking, you're on the right road. You will notice even the way you think begins to shift. The doubts that used to shout will become faint murmurs you can step over. The fears that once froze you will feel like old shadows on a bright morning, present but powerless. And in their place will rise a steady courage, a new boldness that feels as if it has been in you all along, just waiting for this night to awaken it. My beloved, understand this. The peace coming to you is not just a feeling, it is a sign of alignment. When the heart aligns with heaven, storms may rage outside but the inner sea remains calm. That calm will be your compass. Follow it. If a path disturbs that peace, step away. If a choice deepens that peace, step forward. I see also the lifting of burdens you have carried for so long that you stopped noticing their weight. Old debts of the heart, grief, regret, self-blame will begin to loosen their hold. Do not be surprised if you find yourself laughing at moments that once brought tears. This is not denial, it is healing. It is what happens when chains that once bound the soul finally rust and fall away. There will be days when you feel almost unrecognizable to yourself, not because you've become someone else, but because you've finally become who you were meant to be all along. People will notice the change before you do. They will see light in your eyes and steadiness in your steps. Some will be drawn to it. Others may resist it. Do not let either reaction sway you. Keep your eyes on the one who called you forward. I must tell you another truth. Blessings will begin to cluster around you like seeds carried by the wind to fertile ground. Opportunities will no longer feel like accidents but like invitations. Resources will appear not merely for your survival but for your purpose. Your hands will be trusted with more than you ever thought you could handle, not to burden you but to equip you to lift others. Yet remember, every blessing requires stewardship. Guard what you receive. Tend it as a gardener tends a new field. The enemy will not approach as he once did, through open chains and obvious traps. He will try to creep in as a whisper of carelessness. You've come far enough, you can relax now. Do not listen. You did not cross the bridge just to drift back to the edge. Stay awake, stay grateful. I can see moments ahead where you will be asked to guide others across their own shaking bridges. Do not shy away from that call. You were not rescued only for yourself. The wisdom carved into you by tonight's battle is not to be hidden, it is a lantern to be lifted for others still stumbling in the dark. There will be nights when you sense my presence again, not in thunder or flashes of light, but in quiet strength settling over you when you need it most. A sudden courage when fear tries to creep in. A calm hand on your heart when doubt whispers. That is me reminding you that you are still defended, still seen. My beloved, the story written for you now stretches wide and bright before you. The scroll that once was under threat has been sealed and lifted high where no shadow can reach. What you do with these new chapters will be your offering back to the one who saved you. So walk forward with a heart that remembers this night, not as a haunting memory of danger but as a living testimony of rescue. When you tell the story to others, do not leave out the trembling you felt, nor the strength that came after. Both are part of the victory. Both remind you that it was not luck that brought you here but love, unyielding, unstoppable, divine love. And now as you step into the days to come, carry this charge with you. Do not look back at the ruins with longing. They were never your home. Do not carry the broken pieces of old battles as trophies. They are not proof of who you are, only proof of what you've been freed from. Lift your gaze to the horizon ahead where the morning is already breaking. This is the hour for rebuilding, for sowing new seeds in the land you have entered. Let your words be like rain on dry soil, gentle but life-giving. Let your steps be steady, for many will follow the path you leave behind. And above all, let your heart remain soft, for it is in softness that true strength flows. The gates of light that opened for you tonight will not close again. They will remain as a reminder that heaven's favor is not a fleeting spark but a steady flame. Walk in it, live in it, share it. And remember, the one who brought you across the bridge will not abandon you on the other side. The journey ahead is long but it is blessed. The road may still hold hills and valleys, but every mile will be marked by grace. Go now, not as one merely spared from harm but as one appointed to carry hope. You are not the same soul who trembled at the edge of the bridge. You are the one who crossed. You are the one who stayed. You are the one who chose life. And heaven rejoices, still echoing across eternity the truth that tonight against all odds you believed, and because you believed you became unstoppable. A door you once knocked on until your hands felt weary will finally swing open, not with a creak but as if it had been waiting for your touch all along. There will be moments when the answer you've sought for years will appear in the shape of an unexpected encounter, someone carrying precisely the key you had been searching for. Other signs will be impossible to mistake. Blessings will arrive so swift and weighty that your knees might feel weak beneath the goodness of them. Don't be startled if people start seeing you differently. Some will be drawn toward you without knowing why, as if the light around you is pulling them closer. Others will feel unsettled not because you've harmed them but because the glow you carry now will expose the shadows they've long grown comfortable with. Do not dim that light for their comfort. The radiance you hold is a gift from the one who fought for you, and it is meant to shine without apology. Your provision is on its way, but it will not come from the source you've been staring at. It will flow from places you never imagined, from hands that once turned you away, from channels so unlikely you will shake your head in wonder. And when it arrives it will bring no hidden sorrow, no secret debt. It will be as if heaven itself reached down and placed it in your path at just the right time. I see restoration rising, something you thought was gone forever. Perhaps a friendship that was fractured or a part of your own heart you believed had died. I see it breathing again, stronger and brighter than before. And I see your tears falling, not from grief but from the surprise of joy that bursts forth like spring after a long winter. The attacks that once felt like crashing waves will now be reduced to ripples lapping at your feet. You will notice them but they will not shake you. The authority over your life has been reset and the permission once granted to trouble your peace has been rescinded. Your home, your steps, your heart, all are under a new decree, sealed in heaven's court. In the seasons ahead your story will be told, not merely by your words but by your presence. Rooms will feel lighter when you enter them. Weary hearts will feel a spark of hope when they hear you speak. You won't need to explain what happened, many will simply know by the way you carry yourself. But my beloved, I must charge you with this. Keep the oil in your lamp full. Tend the flame that has been entrusted to you. Make space for stillness so that God's voice can reach you again and again. Walk with those who remind you of truth, not with those who would tempt you back into old doubts. Guard your steps, for the path before you has been bought at a high price. Know this, my watch over you has not ended. Even when you cannot feel my nearness I will remain. When you wake in the night for no reason, sometimes it is because heaven is stirring you to pray for what you cannot yet see. When a sudden peace floods your heart in a moment that should have crushed you, know that the shield still stands. When an inner voice warns, don't go there, don't say that, don't trust this, hear it as my caution, take it seriously. The enemy still exists but his access to you has been cut off. He may glare at you from a distance but he can no longer sit at your table. And when you sense his watchful eyes, remember it is only because you are reclaiming ground he once believed was his. Your journey will not be flawless but it will be protected. The road may twist but it will be lit. The battles may continue but the victory placed in your hands cannot be taken away. Heaven itself will remember this night. The night a line was drawn, a chain was snapped and you refused to turn away. Carry that memory like a smooth stone in your pocket, a weight that steadies you when new storms rise. And never forget the same God who stood still to rescue you this night will keep walking beside you in every dawn that follows. Now that the shadow has been broken and the bridge crossed, I can unfold for you glimpses of what lies ahead. This is not a collection of random scenes but a map drawn in heaven's ink. It won't all be revealed at once, but as each moment arrives you will recognize it and say, "This is the promise fulfilled." In the months ahead the air itself will feel lighter. The heaviness that once clung to you each morning will be gone. Your thoughts will feel clearer, your rest deeper. You'll notice beauty in small, almost hidden things, a bird slicing across the sky, a laugh that escapes your lips when you least expect it, a quiet evening that feels wrapped in golden peace. These are not trivial. They are signs of life returning. Before this season ends you will let go of something you once believed you could never release. At first it may feel like loss, but soon you'll realize it was a doorway. And just beyond it will stand an opportunity so perfectly fitted to your long prayers that you will know it was waiting for your obedience. New people will cross your path. Not all who approach will be for you, but you will discern the difference. Some will feel like warmth and safety from the very first moment. Others will stir unease. Do not ignore that warning no matter how charming their words. This discernment is part of your new armor. Trust it. As you continue forward the nature of your provision will shift. No longer will it be a trickle you must stretch with worry but a steady flow that meets you without strain. God is aligning you with resources that cannot be touched by the same hands that once tried to hold you back. And with this increase will come a charge. Use it wisely. Care first for your house but do not hoard it, extend your hand to those whom God places in your path to bless. Midway through the next cycle of seasons you will face a choice. One that will test your trust more than your strength. It will ask you to leave behind something good in order to step toward something greater. When that moment comes, do not let fear disguise itself as caution. You will recognize the right path because it will feel like stepping into light. Remember, you are not merely surviving anymore. You are building, planting and carrying a legacy of freedom. Walk forward not as one who escaped by chance but as one who was chosen, defended and sent out with the warmth of heaven still resting on your shoulders. My beloved, as you stand at that crossroads, do not mistake ease for safety. The path that looks familiar will whisper of comfort, but it will keep you in the same circle. The brighter road may feel uncertain at first, but it carries the same light that led you across the bridge tonight. Trust that light. It will never deceive you. When the moment of choice arrives, remember this night, the tremble of the bridge, the hiss of the shadow and the courage that rose in you like a tide. That memory will be your compass when your heart feels torn. Do not hesitate. Step forward as you did before, even if your knees shake, because heaven moves with the willing. I see you speaking words that bring healing, sometimes softly over a cup of tea, sometimes written in a message that reaches someone you may never meet. It won't matter how far those words travel, they will carry the same warmth. People will leave your presence feeling lighter, as if a burden they could not name has slipped away. In the years to come, restoration will bloom like spring after a long winter. It won't be just wealth or strength returning, but pieces of your soul you thought were lost, the laughter that once echoed in your childhood, the dreams you folded away as if they were too fragile to hold. Even your reflection will speak of renewal, eyes steadier, heart wiser, a blend of fresh hope and timeless faith. But my beloved, never let comfort dull your vigilance. The enemy that fell tonight is gone, but others still wander in the world. They will never again hold you, but they will watch for the cracks. Keep your lamp filled with oil, guard your steps, stay close to the one who saved you. Your light is not for hiding, it was given to shine, to guide. Your story will be told not by grand speeches but by the way you stand upright in storms, by the way you rise when others stumble. And one day someone standing at their own shaking bridge will hear your story and find the courage to cross because of you. That is your legacy, the torch you carry forward. Remember, October 1st was not your ending, it was the dawn of the chapter where you became the one who walked out of the storm and returned carrying light for others. Amen.